This is Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com, 8:06 our time. It is June the 2nd, 2026, and we have got ourselves another one of these days that looks like some afternoon thunderstorms in the offing. Now, lower chance today than yesterday. Yesterday, they were on near certainty. Today, they're talking 35% chance, and not all areas are even in that realm, but you get the pop-up afternoon storms sometimes in this weather, and we may be getting one today. Be prepared. Got 143,001 people without power out there right now. I'm the one on the end there, but 143,000. Actually, that was at the height, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was yesterday afternoon. I'm sure by now we're probably looking a little better than
They
that.
probably got 12 or 14 people back on, I think, so judging from how quickly they're working with me. My entire neighborhood is out. Wouldn't you think you'd want to go ahead and resolve that issue and everything get turned back on?
But you never know really what the issue is. That's
No,
the
I
problem.
don't. I don't have any idea.
Yeah, the whole pole could be down and the lines too, and they got to get that back up. It's not a matter of just
If
flipping
so,
it on.
It was not between me and work. That's
And
good.
I'll tell you something else too that happened to me when it was like a little EF0, whatever, just minor tornado, that the power line from the house to the pole got ripped down by a tree that came down.
Yes.
And at some point, everyone else went back online, didn't really realize it, and they said, "No, your power's on." I said, "No, my power is not." Well, the power not on was that the line from the house to the pole wasn't connected.
That is the very first thing I checked.
And that was my problem.
Yeah. Yesterday at 5:30 when it said your power is on, I went out to look and see. I was like, let me double check this because we've had problems here before. Nope. Power line is absolutely on, connected. Everything is where it's supposed to be, connected to the house, connected to the pole. And then that was when I walked around the neighborhood a little bit and said, nobody got no power in this entire neighborhood.
This was the worst part was I didn't know the power was back on and that line was laying in the ground on the ground in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it would have been nice to know that all the power was turned back on and that live wire is laying there in the backyard.
They did tell you eventually, right?
Yeah, sure they did.
Yeah. After you went and lifted
After I was like,
did
I was laying in the backyard, hair standing out like that.
Did you give it a quick lick? Just
I was like, I've been letting the dog run around out there. I'm so glad the dog didn't die.
Oh my.
Yeah. So just that's something that people we don't deal with this on a day-to-day basis.
No.
But if
But that's what
your neighbors have power and you don't, you're like, what's going on here? That could be the issue.
It's a you problem. It's a
your house problem.
Yes, indeedy. All too often, the box gets ripped right off the house. That happened to me once.
Same thing. That's what happened to me.
Now my system is set up in such a way that can't happen, which is nice, but it's still a big pain. If I were to lose that line, oof, I don't want to think about what it would take.
Thank you. That's my flutter from my heart.
I thought it was a harp. Parrot Structural Services, parrotss.com. If you go down to your basement or your crawl space today and you notice a bunch of water down there that you've never had a problem with before, chances are good something has happened to your foundation. It has shifted to some degree. There's a crack, there's a hole, something is not where it used to be. And you need to get that taken care of, and that's what Parrot Structural Services specializes in. Coming out to get your foundation back on the up and up where it needs to be and make sure your house is intact. Because the longer a foundation problem goes, the worse and more expensive the problem becomes. That's why you want to catch it early and get these guys on the case. ParrotSS.com, 668-2626. They can straighten out a slab of any kind. They can get your garage floor back where it needs to be, basement floors, slab jacking, grout pumping, soil stabilization, wall tiebacks, and yes, the helical pier system that does that great job of getting your foundation back up onto bedrock. I love these guys. They're the best in the business. That's why I use them. Parrot Structural Services, parrotss.com, 668-2626. Okay, so now we know that Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian
hard to say.
Has resigned his post. Remember that came out a couple of days ago.
Yeah, yesterday they were like, he's resigning.
No, he's not. No, he's not. What are you talking about? He's not resigning. And then today it's like, he resigned. Yeah. Okay, who are we supposed to be listening to?
Right, because every day it's something different.
Yeah. It's how do you negotiate with people when one guy says one thing and the other guy says something else entirely, and you can't figure out where you stand on any given day? I can see how frustrating this has got to be for Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, all the people that are trying to make this thing work. It's got to be exhausting because you sit and talk to these guys maybe in Pakistan, and you have one conversation, And they all, sit there and nod their heads like bobblehead dolls. Yes, this is good. This sounds like a fantastic. I like what you're saying. This is good. And then they go back and they talk to, well, at the time, it was Pezeshkian, but now it's somebody else. They go back and talk to the leaders, and the leaders are like, no, we're not doing any of that. Oh, well, I told them we would. Okay, we'll go back and fix it for me. Okay. And negotiations continue. At this point, the negotiations have lasted longer than the war.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You've got too many chefs in the kitchen, and you don't know who's the chef and who isn't. And the communication is probably part of this process where it's taking longer than normal because it's not like Donald Trump has like he has a direct line with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a direct line with whoever it is that's supposed to be the leading, the government in Iran. Who is that? And it's probably multiple people, and that just convolutes the whole situation as well.
It makes it almost impossible to get any real answers here, and I don't know what you're going to do about it. I mean, this is we've got ourselves into a bit of a mess here. I'm not going to say quagmire because it's only been 90 days, but something absolutely has to move this needle. And when I say move this needle, I mean move the needle downward on gas prices because it's killing me.
It's killing a lot of people.
Yeah, it's killing. It's harming the economy. It is going to really harm Trump's midterm chances. I think a lot of Republicans are going to end up paying the price for something that was avoidable. That is to say, prosecuting this war in a different way. And the whole, well, let's just stop and let's talk for a while. Well, you know how the Iranians talk. The Iranians are really good at putting you off and putting you off and putting you off. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Well, we're not going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about it today. And if we don't like what you say, we're going to continue the bombing. And by the way, they continue to come up with these ridiculous threats against the United States. That's one of my favorite things is that they love to say, oh, boy, retaliation. We're not going to put up with this blockade much longer. Okay, Iran, if you had the ability to stop the blockade, you would have stopped it already, and we know that. This empty saber rattling is ridiculous. You better not attack. We'll show you. And then we go in and we do some of these surgical defense strikes, and we blow the snot out of them yet again, and they do nothing. Well, you don't try that again, or we'll show you, boy, we'll... Remember Robin Williams doing a Saddam Hussein bit about how, he said, this is the red line here, and backs up and goes, okay, here's the line. No, it's here.
That's what we're doing.
You knock on my door, I don't come out.
But at the same time, Donald Trump knows that what we're doing currently, he keeps saying there's not a rush. Their economy, every day that goes by, it gets worse and worse there. So kind of what we're doing, and no supplies going in, no supplies going out.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally there's some drone or something that they lob out or they try. They don't have hardly anything.
No.
And again, some of the stuff we've done is in self-defense. It's like they've put a drone out and they've tried to, we're like, okay, whatever. It's like swatting a mosquito. It's like, okay, we'll take whatever. Let's keep negotiating. At any point in time, if we want to, we can obliterate them. And I know they know that.
You'd think they would know that.
Yeah, they know. I think they're well aware of that, and they still try to talk big.
I think their hubris.
This is their culture. This is what they do.
Well, it's true, unfortunately. And that's another thing that makes it so very difficult is that, they're just like, they're not going to surrender. They refuse to say flat out, yes, okay, you got us. You got the better of us. We give.
I don't think we're ever going to hear that.
I don't think so either.
No.
I just don't think so. So if that's what we're hoping for or waiting for, it's going to have a long, long wait, man. Mm-hmm. Anthony and Company Jewelers, 2080 Valladale Road, next to Ragtime Cafe, has got that fabulous graduation present for your favorite graduate, whether that be a young lady who could use a new pair of earrings or an older guy who deserves a fabulous high-end watch for making it all the way through school, graduate school, maybe graduating from college or getting on to the doctoral degree, whatever may be floating your boat. These guys have got it. And they have a huge selection of jewelry with prices so low they really can't afford to have a sale. So you're getting top quality at the lowest possible price. This is not one of these ginormous gem warehouses. They do have a big selection. The jewelry is virtually on top of each other. You walk into some stores and it's way spaced out. That's not how it is at Anthony and Company. It's virtually on top of each other. But you're going to find something you love there, or you're going to have something specially made because the craftsmen and artists at Anthony and Company can put something together for you that I think you'll absolutely adore. AnthonyCoJewelers.com online, AnthonyCoJewelers.com. Might want to keep them in mind for Father's Day, too. That's coming up before long. Anthony and Company Jewelers, 2080 Valleydale Road, next to Ragtime Cafe. Didn't these guys do a reunion tour at one point in the not-too-distant past? I thought I saw where they were going to get together.
I seem to remember they did, yeah, but I think it was just a one-time thing.
That's a shame. Love the Go-Go's.
A lot of fun.
819, Dixon Divining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Thanks for hanging out with us. Looks like we might get a little rain later. They say there's some falling around the BJCC right now.
A little light rain.
Little light rain.
There's not very much on radar.
Nope.
Teeny tiny.
83 for a high today. Possibility of some storms this afternoon, but that is a much slighter chance than yesterday. 83 and sunny tomorrow. 84 and sunny on Thursday. The week just keeps getting better.
Going to be beautiful as we progress.
Friday, I'm off. That's what makes that day really special.
Hey, look at you.
Not just for me, but for you, all of you listening as well. You're like, oh, we don't have to put up with him.
It's going to be a crazy Friday here. Y'all get ready.
Oh, yeah.
Off
crazy
the rails.
It's going to be insane.
Do I need to request that day off too?
No, please don't. Yeah. I need you.
Make a run for it. Make a run for it.
Steve's going to be part of the mayhem.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about your water and how terrible it is. There are some 600 chemicals that could be in your water, and the law only says they have to check for about 60. That's a problem. What they do is they treat the water with chlorine. They dump a bunch of chlorine in, more than you'll find in your average swimming pool. True story. And figure, well, there you go. That'll do it. No, thank you. What you need is to remove the hardness. You need to remove the chemicals, chlorine included, and get just the best H2O possible. And you get that when you contact Aqua Systems at 383-3999. Aqua Systems is going to come out. They're going to test your water. They're going to show you what you're dealing with. They're going to talk to you about how they get the stuff out of the water. If you need the micro plastics and the forever chemical removal system, they have that as well. Some people do need it. Some people don't. They'll be 100% honest with you about whether that's something you have to have. And then suddenly you'll begin to experience soap that suds more, cleaning products that clean better, dishes that come out of the dishwasher sparkling without rinse aid, softer fabric when it comes out of the dryer without using a fabric softener. Amazing stuff, and you will be cleaner and happier as well. Plus, everything you cook with this water tastes better. It's just that simple. Aqua Systems, 383-3999. Find them online at iwantgreatwater.com. Don't forget to ask about that 10% off your installation. Celebrating America's 250th birthday, every single piece of this is American-made. We love that, and I love the fact that you can get 10% off up to $250 here, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States of America with Aqua Systems. Find them online at iwantgreatwater.com.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Horrible situation out of Atlanta. A 66-year-old Margaret Swan was stabbed somewhere between 18 and 20 times by John Elijah Matthews, a 25-year-old who just happened to be sharing a train car with her on MARTA in Atlanta. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office identified the victim, a 66-year-old Margaret Swan. She was attacked as the train traveled between the Lakewood, Fort McPherson, and Oakland City stations. It was a senseless act of violence, according to MARTA, and they said our thoughts are with the victim's loved ones and those who witnessed this horrific incident.
Really, in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
She just is riding on the MARTA, and this guy gets on, 25 years old, and stabs her for no reason for, 20 times.
No reason whatsoever.
What in the world is that all about?
That is a lawless society that has really, I hate to say it, but Escape from New York is becoming more and more like a possible reality. It's remarkable to me the amount of crime and idiocy that we're watching take place out there.
This woman was screaming for help and nobody came to her aid.
Nobody came to her aid. Guy stood there for about 2 minutes next to her body before the train got to the Oakland exit. Then he exited knife in hand, and cops ran on. And you're like, did you not grab him? They did get him, obviously, eventually. And he is being charged with everything they can charge him with, which is good. But, wow, horrible that it happened. A woman was arrested after pepper spraying multiple people at a Tuscaloosa Applebee's. Yeah, it was 35-year-old Cinnamon Bogan.
Great name,
taken into custody and charged with felony use of pepper spray, resisting arrest, and harassment after she pepper sprayed a group of people. It was multiple people that she was apparently involved in a disagreement with. That's a nice way of saying it. It was a disagreement is what it was.
That's what they had.
And she decided the best way to handle it would be to
pull out pepper spray.
Yeah. Pepper spray her.
That's how you handle disputes.
Yeah.
Rather than just using your words, and then when you're through with the dispute, you walk away.
Getting up and walking away. That's
she decided to take it to the next level and pull out her pepper spray and spray everybody.
That was the other choice that she could have made.
She should have put those cocktails down in the middle of the day. That was the big problem. Stop drinking the pitchers of whatever you were drinking.
That's those $1 margaritas that Applebee's are selling. That's what the problem is.
Stop, girl.
You put those things out there and don't expect people to start pepper spraying each other? Come on, Applebee's, what are you doing?
What the heck is going on there?
Nobody's feeling good in the neighborhood today, I'll tell you that.
No, not there anyways. Not that neighborhood.
NBC has scrapped multiple shows in a major programming overhaul. There are a lot of shows in the 2027 television season that will not be around any longer, including Law and Order Special Victims Unit Homicide.
And that's probably one of their better shows.
It's been on for 17 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
17 years. Okay, I can understand why, you might be like, okay, people are tired of this, starting to slip in the ratings, not going to make it any longer. The Kelly Clarkson show is concluding after 7 seasons, but she's doing that herself.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I kind of miss my kids, but she's still going to be on The Voice, so she doesn't miss them that much, obviously. What else do we have? That's getting
Gracious.
the axe. Quite a few. Could be a favorite show of yours.
Any reality shows finally getting cut?
The Steve Wilkos show, concluding
Really?
after
That's
19
finally
seasons.
going away, huh?
19 seasons. Karamo will finish after 4 seasons. Both programs will air new episodes through the summer. NBC canceled Law and Order Organized Crime. Yeah, okay.
Not surprised
Brilliant Minds also canceled.
Brilliant Minds. I
Yeah.
saw an episode of that, and I was like,
Not
this
so
ain't,
much.
this ain't doing it for me. It's not making it.
by
There's
that.
a
Not
lot
brilliant
of,
enough for you?
well, there are other shows that that have the same sort of formulaic thing that do it better, and that's the problem. Everybody kind of jumps on the same bandwagon at the same time. Christopher Maloney, actually addressed fans in a video message saying, "It was a great ride. Thank you. You helped me, gave me a career that I never dreamed of. Nearly 17 odd years." This is Law and Order Special Victims Unit. The spinoff was Organized Crime. Network also axed mockumentary Stumble.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. That's why it's canceled.
Could be something to that.
You kind of have to.
We don't know about it.
It always seems like a game with these networks to see, like, well, who's going to come out first and announce the canceled shows? Who's going to be the first one that's willing to come forward and say, here's what we're not going to do next year? Because then the other two kind of have a leg up and they go, oh, we're no longer programming against that organized crime thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, now we can put something else there. Or maybe we'll leave that show that was kind of weak on at that time, and hopefully it starts to draw more viewers. People start showing up for it. There are some shows so powerful, like they said that Seinfeld, you couldn't program against it. It was such a must-see TV that other networks were just like, I don't know, just throw some crap on for a half an hour. It doesn't matter what we do. We're never going to get their viewers. Well, counter program, get some other people in there. Maybe we could do something about scrapbooking. That would be good.
Well, I mean, for
Jeez.
the longest time, that Thursday night NBC slot, you go back to the 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, Cosby Show, Family Ties, stuff like that. And it shifts. You start to get into the 90s, you get Seinfeld, you get Friends in there.
Mm-hmm.
But CBS, NBC, Fox later on, as they started to become their own network, man, they were like, Thursday night? No, we're punting.
Yeah. Thursday night was rough, man. And I think that might be one of the reasons why Thursday night football became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That they were like, oh,
can see
maybe
that.
if we put a football game on, that might actually make a difference, But, yeah, there's some stuff that's just really impossible to program against. And nowadays, that's not as true as it once was. But from what I understand, all those Dick Wolf shows are huge. I mean, people still love the Law and Order shows, even though they've changed personnel like 19 times. Back
Well,
when I
because
watched
the
it,
model of the show kind of stays the same,
Yeah.
even though you're
Yeah.
interspersing different actors or actresses.
Well, and who was it? Ice-T
Ice.
and Mariska Hargitay
Yeah.
are still on SVU, or were until it got canceled.
So funny to see. You kind of forget that after you see him enough times on episodes.
Yeah.
I forget that he's Ice-T.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that is kind of really weird, isn't it?
John Mulaney has a great bit about watching Ice-T on that. He's always coming up with some sort of, they ran across a guy who got his jollies from, watching little girls on the playground. And he's like, you mean like the way some guys can't help but bet on the ponies? You mean like some people can't help but take a drink? You mean like I just want to sit here all day and listen to Ice-T explain things in his own little magical way.
You mean like?
You mean like
You mean like?
so, the way some people can't stop? Yes, that's exactly right.
That's
People
it.
can't stop eating? That's correct,
Just-
Ice-T.
all you had to do is name one.
Yeah.
We were good with the
One would have done it, but, you want to do 6 or 7, let's just do that. That'll be fine. That's what I call a quality television show. It is 8:30 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. Got another pair of tickets to go see the Molly Ringwalds at Iron City this Saturday night. They are a brilliant 80s band. They are so much fun to watch. They really put on a show. It's not just music, it's a show. And you got to see it to appreciate it. So we'll set you up with another pair of tickets for that. Coming up with more 1980 movie quiz. I should do a music quiz at some
You
point.
should
though,
do a
shouldn't I?
music quiz.
Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Mhm, that'd be
I'll
fun.
do movie and music.
Let's do it.
We'll combine. golden earring. They've been driving all night, hands wet on the wheel. I just said that. You know, I'm surprised they they got so good later. I thought they would change the name to Diamond Earring, but they just stuck with gold.
Gold?
Yeah.
Gold? I don't know. I mean, look at the value of gold these days.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wish I'd bought some back when it was cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying that.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I do have difficulty understanding why there are people out there trying to sell me gold right now. I'm kind of like, if it's
really?
so precious, why aren't you holding on to it? If you love it so much, why don't you keep it?
They want you to have a little of it.
Apparently, and they want my worthless money for it.
Mm-hmm.
My money is garbage. I don't know what it is. I'm going to trade my garbage money for their fantastic gold.
That's it.
Do I get some magic beans in there as well?
Beans?
Yes.
Oh, now you want beans.
Well, I want the magic beans, and I'm going to trade my cow.
Your cow,
It
too?
all makes sense.
No, don't do all of
the
that.
cow, you get the rotten cash. I get the beans and the gold. Bring it on. 837 Dixon and Vining.
All right, folks, if you're dealing with some problems this morning after all of the rain that we had yesterday, actually the rain that we've had the last couple of weeks, it's been a little bit crazy. Gutters are so important to your homes, and if they're not working properly, I want you to call Daniel at Noble Contractors and let him come out and repair whatever needs to be repaired. It might be something really minor. Daniel doesn't mind. He'll come out and take a look and fix it for you. That's just one of the many things that they do at Noble Contractors. Daniel, a veteran of the military, his number, put it in your phone. You just never know. If you own a home and you've got gutters, and you should have gutters, you never know when you're going to need them. So put this number in your phone when you need Daniel and you need gutter work, 422-3034. He's here in Birmingham at 205. But here's the thing. If you really, in all seriousness, you're dealing with some problems with your gutters, they didn't work properly through the storms, the water was pouring over the top, maybe you had a limb come down, it tore off some of the gutters around your home, maybe you needed an entire replacement of gutters, this is who you want to turn to. And it's awesome to know Daniel because it's a locally owned and operated company. He's got financing available now as low as 0% for 21 months. You'll love what he does, and you'll love his prices. And here's how you can tell. Ask him for the free estimate. But first, go ahead and call some of those bigger companies that you hear about that have the gutters and the gutter covers like Daniel has. And then get him to come out and say, hey, give me a price on new gutters and gutter covers. All right, then compare the prices. And then know that you're dealing with somebody that does outstanding work. I've seen what he can do. And let me tell you what, you'll be happy that you went with Daniel at Noble Contractors. 422-3034. He is now merged with Lifetime Roofing. So now you get two trusted companies, one stronger team. Congratulations to Daniel and Noble Contractors for teaming up with them. It's a great company. NobleContractorsALA.com. That's where you can find them. Or just give them a call this morning and let them come out and help you. 422-3034.
All right, let's give away another pair of tickets to see the Molly Ringwald's great 80s band. It's music and a show, Iron City, this Saturday night. If you want to see some really great entertainment, you can always buy tickets by going to IronCityBham.com, IronCityBham.com. Ticketmaster has them as well. Or you can win them right now simply by answering this 80s movie quote question. 545-9950. You're calling. 545-9950. The quote is this: "No, be afraid. Be very afraid." It's from one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'm betting a lot of people are going to get this wrong. No, be afraid. Be very afraid. 545-9950. If you can answer that question, where did that movie quote come from? Which 80s movie? And you'll get yourself some tickets. We're giving away pretty much all week this week. Okay.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
We wish you nothing but luck. They always say that at the blackjack table. I don't think they really mean it.
Well, somebody's got to win, right? Well,
Not
everybody.
necessarily. Sometimes it's the dealer that wins. A lot
That's
of
right.
times
Well, the dealer wins.
it's the
See, there's
dealer
a
that
winner
wins.
there.
It's a strange thing. I don't gamble as much as I used to. I don't know why. It's just I lost the spark, lost the interest.
Maybe it's you enjoy making money and hanging on to your money. Could be a little of that.
I was not a losing guy, to be honest with you. I actually won more often than I lost. And I also always walked into a casino with X amount of money in my wallet, and I was like, and that's the limit.
That's the limit.
I don't do the walk of shame to the ATM. I've never been that guy.
That's a very healthy way
Yeah.
that if you want to, for fun from time to time, gamble a little of your money.
Yeah.
Setting the limit is oh so important.
I
Because
just
the people that don't do that, they're
Yeah.
the ones that are over there at the ATM.
exactly, and they're just like, I just got to win my money back. You're never going to win your money back.
Don't
okay?
play it that way.
You're winning some
Yeah.
other money. It's not your money that you're winning back. If you win money, consider it a good thing that you won some money. That's great. But I will say that I found it really odd that you could be doing great, absolutely wonderful at a blackjack table, just absolutely tearing it up, making money hand over fist. I have kind of a system that I've used for years that has always worked very well for me. It's quite simple, but you got to have, gonads of steel to be able to pull it off. There was one time when I had, like I said, I walk in with a very limited amount of funds in my wallet, maybe $400, and I'll be like, that's going to be it. I could go out to dinner and drinks with a lovely young lady at a very nice restaurant and drop $400, right?
Mhm,
That's
easily.
not that difficult to
No.
do. Okay.
Appetizers, a little wine, a drink or two.
Instead of
some
doing
dessert.
that, I'm going to a casino and I'm going to gamble $400. And if I lose all 400 of it, I had a good time. That was the goal anyway. So that's kind of the way I think about it. But when you put out, let's say, $20 on a hand of blackjack, and you lose, next thing you do is you put $40 out, and then you lose. Now you put out $80.
Mm-hmm.
You lose
Now,
again.
now it's beginning to hurt.
Now you're like,
Now you're like,
hold on a second. Yeah. At one point, I had, because of this system that I was using, and I think I started at 15. I think that was the table minimum. I don't recall. But at one point, I had 100 out. I got a pair that I split. I think it was a pair of eights or pairs. I don't remember if it was a pair of eights or a pair of nines. I split. Now I got another 100 out there.
Okay.
And then I doubled down on one of the cards. Now I got $300 out there, and you're just sitting there looking at all your money on the table. You go, if I lose all of these, I'm going home. Well, fortunately, I won one of them and lost the other one, so I ended up with a pretty good chunk of change and walked away with more money than I showed up with, which was nice. You really want to try to make enough that you can pay the hotel bill as well.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
If you can pull that off, then you know.
Then you've done well.
But how is it possible that I can be doing great with this dealer? And then they're like, I'm going to take a break, and they bring in the cooler, right? And you can't win anything with this new dealer. You're
Yeah.
like, what?
They jinxed you.
Wallace Shawn in Vegas Vacation is the cooler where a Chevy Chase cannot win a damn thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've had this experience so many times.
The other thing is I went to Vegas, and once I won, it was a slot machine. I won enough to pay for the entire trip, the airline
that's
ticket,
fantastic.
the hotel. I was like, done.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not putting
There
another
you go.
dime
Why would I
into
gamble anymore?
anything.
Right.
This just paid for the entire trip.
There
I had
you
a
go.
great time. I'm done gambling.
There's other stuff
That
you
was
can do
it.
in Vegas now, too.
Oh, sure.
I mean, go to
yeah.
shows and,
Yeah.
take a helicopter trip over the Grand
Sure.
Canyon, whatever.
Go to the
you
Grand
want.
Canyon,
Yeah.
walk around there.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone, see if somebody's got an answer here. JJ is in Carbon Hill. JJ, do you have an answer to the 80s movie quote, no, be afraid, be very afraid?
It's The Fly.
That is correct.
Wow.
Absolutely. First time out of the chute. Very good.
Dang, JJ.
Many people would get that wrong. Congratulations, JJ. You've just won a pair of tickets to see the Molly Ringwalds enjoy some fantastic top quality 80s music and a delightful show at Iron City. Brought to you by Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, and from Spiegel, Chicago, Illinois, 60609.
Nice job, JJ.
Let me put you on
Yeah.
hold. Steve is going to get some info from you. We'll put you on the guest list. Life will be good.
And you'll have a good
go have
time.
a
You
great
will
time.
have a good time.
You will, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Gina Davis who says that line. No, be afraid, be very afraid. That movie, first off, the original Fly was a favorite of mine as a kid. Help me.
I know, so disturbing.
So creepy.
It is creepy.
So creepy.
Yes.
It was a little slow moving,
Uh-huh.
but Vincent Price, if he's going to be in something, you're going to. It's based upon a short story, French short story, interestingly. And so I loved it. So when they were coming out with a new version of it, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this.
Uh-huh.
And I just stared in horror at the screen throughout they didn't say, oh, by the way, this is a horror movie.
Uh-huh.
They probably should have
They should have
given
given you
us
the
a little
warning.
more of a heads up on that.
So what do you think people would guess that the movie is with that quote something because you said that you
Like Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street or Friday the 13th
yeah.
or one of those things, But no, it was, in fact, From the Fly, a movie that stands head and shoulders above either of those, in my opinion. 846 with Dixon and Vining. Your thoughts are always welcome, by the way. 545-9950 if you'd like to drop us a line. We would love to hear from you. $8:49, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Dixon and Vining, Tuesday, and a possible rain this afternoon, but a much lesser chance than yesterday. If it does rain, chances are good it will not be nearly as severe. That's good news, but it might
Nothing
help
like
cool
that.
things off a little bit. So 83 for the high today, 83 tomorrow.
What do we
and
hear?
sunny.
50s overnight? At
I
some
like it.
point, I was like, what?
As a guy with no
You take-
AC right now, I'm a fan of the 50s. Bring it on. Yeah, I'll keep the windows open and just let it waft over me.
That'd be
Nothing.
nice.
No movement in that air in my house, by the way. It's just stagnant, just sitting there. It's another reason not to cook anything in the kitchen, because whatever you cook, that smell's
It's going to
just
stay
hang.
right there.
Well, maybe I'll do some fish.
So take that outside. You got a grill outside.
I
that
can.
works.
I've got a grill. I've got a gas grill. I've got a griddle. I've got all kinds of ways that I've got a deep fryer sitting outside on my back porch right now. Oh, wait,
Nice.
that's electric.
Yeah, careful with that.
The Alabama Men's Clinic, 598-7000. Concerned about your health, your manliness. If you are having trouble struggling to get going in the morning, if you are getting home from work and you're just exhausted and the idea of going out or doing anything else is just wearing on you, then I would like to recommend a visit to the Alabama Men's Clinic at 598-7000. Your testosterone level is a little on the low side, and you need to get it looked at, my friend. And that's exactly what they're going to do for you at the Alabama Men's Clinic, 598-7000. They'll test your testosterone, blood, right? And they'll have a number for you, and then they'll talk to you about how to get it where it needs to be, between 600 and 900. They'll talk to you about your ED if you're struggling with that, and a variety of different options for treatment there. Some guys have a one-size-fits-all thing. Alabama Men's Clinic is all about options. Love that about them. They also will talk to you about your hair loss and your weight loss, and if you need peptides or GLP-1, they'll be happy to help with any and all of that. The Alabama Men's Clinic can improve your life starting almost immediately. But first, you got to call them. 598-7000. 598-7000. You can also find them online, alabamamensclinic.com. Make an appointment there in 30 seconds or less. Reporters and the public will be allowed to attend a key upcoming hearing for the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk after a Utah judge on Monday denied a defense request to restrict access.
How about that? Yay.
You know what's interesting about this is that Tyler Robinson was going to go through this hearing anyway. And it was going to be heard by all the people in the courtroom and the people who are salient and whatever. It's just interesting that he and his lawyers were like, but we don't want the public to know about it. You killed a guy, allegedly.
You publicly killed a guy.
And you're concerned about what people might think?
Too
Do
late
I have
for
this
that.
right? Yeah, I think that ship sailed, my friend.
Don't worry about it.
You know who else did this? Was the dude who killed those 4 students in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He had the same thing. He was always like, well, no, we need to keep this away from the public, and no one can see this, and we don't want that information getting out.
Sounds like they have a similar attorney.
Could be. Might be the same guy for all I know. But I do know that the judges in the case are like, no, this is a little vanity project. This is your problem, is that you're afraid of what the public's going to think. Well, too bad. The public's going to think what the public's going to think, and this information is going to come out. And, most importantly to me is if this will just shut Candace Owens up and some of the other idiots who are out there coming out with these bizarre conspiracy theories about how Israel was involved and how it wasn't a bullet, he had some shaped charge attached to his neck and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it really is downright insane. And I think, get a hobby, will you?
Yeah, she kind of needs one.
You're basically Alex Jones and Sandy Hook at this point. Mm-hmm. And, he got sued for a lot of money.
He did.
Over what happened.
And the defense in this apparently is saying that, that Robinson would deny him a fair trial to have it public. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
So all of these are just little dance moves, to delay and do some other things for Robinson. But the evidence is pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
That, he is the person that shot and killed Charlie Kirk. So, we will see again. He's accused of this. Mm-hmm. But again, if you look at all of the evidence, so whether the public is going to be able to see this or they deny cameras in the courtroom and things like that, it shouldn't make any difference at all.
Prosecutors argued that the preliminary hearing should remain open, but they agreed with the defense that media should be limited from viewing or copying some exhibits that could be used in future trial. They plan to introduce forensic analysis, surveillance video, recordings of witness statements, autopsy findings, and alleged messages from Robinson admitting to the crime.
That's the big one.
Authorities have said DNA consistent with Robinson's was found on the trigger of the rifle used to kill Kirk, the fired cartridge casing, 2 unfired cartridges, and a towel used to wrap the rifle. Prosecutors also said Robinson left a note for his romantic partner that read, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it."
Boom.
Boy,
boom.
You couldn't possibly have left more evidence at the scene if you had exploded. Yikes.
I don't think he was concerned about covering any of this up. Other than he got off the rooftop and took off.
Yeah.
Other than that,
He made a run for it. He didn't take the rifle.
there's not
with
much
his,
else.
you know.
He really didn't think this through. Well,
Yeah.
thank goodness he didn't think it through.
No, that's true. Although, maybe he shouldn't have done it at all. Charlie Kirk would still be with us today.
Yep.
But yeah, what a horrible set of circumstances this has gone through, and this guy has it's astounding to me that they are still trying to sell this as anything other than an open and shut case. And when you got that forensic report, and it was the defense that leaked the bullet match. When you started
Yeah.
talking about the gunfire, and they said, "Oh,
We
they
can't match
they
it."
can't match it
Well,
to the rifle that was fired." And then the folks who did the actual matching came out and said, "No, that's not what we said. We said it's inconclusive because of the shape that it's in." And then the prosecution came forward and said, "Yeah, let's be clear on this. It's not that they couldn't match the casing and the rifle.
It's just that there wasn't a lot left of it.
And the defense said, "Hey, they're not allowed to talk about that." And you're like, "You
It's
started
already out
it.
there."
You started it. What do you
Right.
mean we're not allowed to talk about that? You started it. Come on." Well, we'll see how all of this unfolds. I do believe that it's really kind of a delay.
and
See if
again,
we can put this off as long as possible.
The defense doing what they did, that is to taint the waters
Sure.
a little bit.
Absolutely.
And to try to paint Robinson as, innocent before you even get to the courtroom. And it's like, you know what? Quit talking, Mr. Defense Attorney. Quit talking about this.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're right. I mean, the prosecution in the case, you don't get to throw that out there and then the prosecution doesn't say anything. That's not how this works. So, if you want to throw that out there, you keep yapping away, keep going, and the prosecution is going to continue to respond.
My friend, our friend Spud, has got a great line that he loves. Jimmy Stewart utters it in Anatomy of a Murder, an Otto Preminger movie, where he plays a lawyer. He's one of those slow-talking country lawyers, And he says, when the facts are on my side, I argue the facts. If I have emotion and opinion on my side, I argue emotion and opinion. If I don't have facts or opinion, I just try to throw a lot of dust up in the air and confuse everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially what the defense is doing right here, because they don't have opinion on their side, and they sure don't have facts on their side.
Nope.
So they are basically in the process of throwing as much dust up in the air as they possibly can to obfuscate the situation. Here's some cool news. Lockheed Martin is opening a massive Costco-sized missile plant in North Alabama. This is going to be part of the Golden Dome
Yeah, let's do it.
that we're
Once
supposed to
again,
have.
Alabama winning,
Yeah.
North Alabama specifically.
They say it's Costco-sized, and I'm kind of like, well, why couldn't Costco in there? I
Yeah.
mean, come on, that's what we needed. We
Well,
needed another
actually,
Costco.
the
damn it.
Costco going up in Irondale is going to be bigger than
Gonna
this.
be bigger than this?
Yeah, it's 150,000 square feet. This is 88. Oh, this is teeny tiny
It's
compared to the
nothing.
Costco.
Are you kidding?
We can't hold a candle to
I
Costco.
could ride a bike around in there.
Let's double the size.
Sounds-
Now you're beating them.
Pretty good size to me, 88,000. But
Now that's
yeah.
fantastic.
Now that's the fact that we're going to start creating these missiles to use for our own defense system, which is Trump is biting off a lot here with this concept that we're going to have like a Golden Dome, like
'Cause we're not
Israel
like,
has an Iron Dome.
Israel's like Rhode Island. That's
Right.
that's the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome you're going to do over the entire U.S. or
Well,
all the way around all the coasts.
I think we're talking
How are we
eastern,
gonna do that?
eastern seaboard right now, and
Yeah.
I guess you do it a little at a time, right?
Yeah, I guess.
The problem
Could
is
you do Florida first? Because I mean, they
good.
don't have a prayer.
by the time and leave California for last.
Yeah, forget.
But
That's exactly right. West Coast last.
by the time you get to building the second phase, the first phase is obsolete, and you have to start over again. And it's like, oh yeah, I can see how you might not. I don't know. Look, the man thinks big. The man thinks.
I like
big.
it though,
Mm.
and I love that Alabama is a part of this.
I'll tell you what I don't like is that when a judge said you have to take your name off the Kennedy Center, it's no longer going to be the Trump Kennedy Center. You have to take it off there. He's like, oh well, then I'm not going to fix it up anymore. What are you, a child? What are you, 5?
Until he gets his way.
Yeah.
It'll
That's right.
change. He'll get his way.
I'm going to hold my breath till I turn blue.
They'll call it the Kennedy Trump Center.
It's going to be an amazing blue. It's going to be the best blue
Just-
anybody's ever seen.
just
Not
put your-
Democrat blue. It's just going to be blue. It's going to be a fantastic blue.
Can't wait till they change
Wait
the
till
color of
you
that
see.
airplane. Can we change that quickly?
Today.
Now.